Today, I have a special story to tell. This one is based on true events, as recorded in Benin history. To some, this may be a story about Oba Ewakpe, but to many more, this is a story about selfless love, the love of Queen Eden. Before we proceed, you are invited to join us for free by clicking on the subscribe button. Like this video to show your support for the channel, and feel free to comment, contribute, or suggest to us in the comment section. We'll be glad to read and reply to all. Thank you. Now, let's get into the story. In the ancient kingdom of Benin, way before Nigeria was formed, there lived a young man named Idova, who was raised as a commoner in the village. He or his father never thought they might be called someday to be the Oba of the Benin kingdom. He was never taught the ways of the Oba. He was never a prince, never taught the traditions of the palace. The Oba at the time died suddenly. He had no heir, and hence no successor. The chiefs had to look for a male from the bloodline to be the next Oba. They found a good fit. After a while, the new Oba also died with no heir, and the kingmakers had to look around once again from the Oba's bloodline. They decided Idova's father was the right man for the job. When they told him, he turned it down because he felt that he was too old. They had no choice but to call on his son, Idova. Idova accepted and became the new Oba. As in customary, every Oba is given a new name during coronation. Idova was named Oba Ewakpe. He married many wives, and amongst his wives was Queen Eden. Queen Eden was one of the youngest wives. She was well trained by her parents, and every single male in the village wanted to marry her, until the Oba indicated his interest in her. Everyone had to back off. Eden felt honored by the Oba and accepted to be one of his wives. However, Eden was barren and could not bear a child for the Oba. In those days, when an Oba's mom, or a queen dies, it was customary to bury certain items, like goats, cows, jewelry, and more with them. At the time, it was believed that these animals and items would help the dead in the afterlife. When Oba Ewakpe's mother became old and died, the Oba grieved. He was determined to honor his mother in a special way. He wanted servants to go along with his mother to help her in the afterlife. So, he ordered a curfew in the village and said anyone found hanging around late at night will be used for sacrifice. Oba Ewakpe, being new to the power of the throne, made a lot of mistakes, but this was the greatest of them. Many lives were slaughtered and buried along with the Queen Mother. The people of the Benin Kingdom revolted. They quit coming to the palace to pay homage to the Oba. The guards and wives of the Oba also walked out of the palace. There was no servant left to serve the Oba. They rejected him as their Oba. The palace became empty. Only one of his wives refused to leave him, Queen Eden. She stayed with the Oba and did not go back to her family like the other wives did. The Oba was depressed, and Queen Eden comforted him. She served the Oba's needs, prepared food, washed clothes, and cleaned. The work was overwhelming, but she continued to do it. Soon, they ran out of food and thought about what to do. The Oba came up with an idea. He suggested they travel to his mother's village. He believed they would welcome him as he honored their daughter, his mother. Queen Eden agreed to go with him, and they set off together. On getting there, they were well received by the villagers and elders. When he told them that he and his wife were planning to settle in their village, an elder said, "You are welcome to live here. However, if you want to be served, you would have to pay someone to serve you. If you cannot afford servants, then you would have to farm and feed yourself and your family. This saddened Oba Ewakpe, but he had no choice but to accept. Together, Oba Ewakpe and Queen Eden worked every day in the farm to get food. They did this for a while, until one day, Oba Ewakpe said he could not do this anymore. He told Queen Eden that she was better they go back to the empty palace and die there. Once again, Queen Eden agreed to go with her husband, the Oba. However, before they left, Oba Ewakpe cursed the land of Ikoka as they did not respect his throne and help him in time of need. Till this day, the people of Ikoka are believed to still be under this curse due to lack of development and lack of progress of the people from the village. They journeyed back to their Benin palace. On getting there, the building was almost covered with grass. As soon as they got in the palace, it started to rain and the roof leaked water on them. Oba Ewakpe climbed onto the roof to fix the leak. The Oba slipped and fell, hurting his leg. The queen once again cared for him and treated his wounded leg. She laid him down to rest. When Oba Ewakpe was fast asleep, Queen Eden gathered her expensive beads and jewelry. She took them to the popular Oba market and sold them for money. She came back and told the Oba what she had done and explained that she had an idea. She told the Oba about a powerful and wise oracle priest. Together, Oba Ewakpe and Queen Eden made a trip to the oracle priest. After they narrated their pain to him, the high priest shook his head, feeling sorry for the Oba. The greatest man in the land had been reduced to nothing. The high priest asked, "What exactly do you want me to do for you?" Oba Ewakpe quickly replied, "I want my throne back. I want the people of the kingdom to accept me back as their Oba." The priest made a quick incantation and turned to the Oba. "You need to stage a make-believe scenario," he explained to them. "Buy food items along with sacks and containers. Gather rags and head pads as they normally use on their heads when villagers bring pledges and gifts to the Oba." The chief oracle further explained to them how to place pans and burned out branches and leaves, just as villagers from afar would do to keep warm on their way to the palace. This would make passers-by believe that villagers have resumed paying homage to the Oba. Finally, the chief oracle said, "One more thing to do, the most important that will make everything work out. There needs to be a sacrifice to atone for the lives that were sacrificed, a human sacrifice, buried at the popular Oba market, someone dear to you, so you would also feel the pain of the people. Without it, nothing will work." The Oba left the chief oracle feeling sad and hopeless and thinking, after all the mistakes he had made, the oracle still wanted a life. Where am I going to get such a person? Oba Ewakpe walked in silence. When they got home, Queen Eden knelt before the Oba. "Long live the Oba," she said. "I am ready and willing to be your sacrifice. Use me so that your kingdom may be restored." The Oba was shocked at this. "Be quiet," he said. "You don't know what you are saying. You are the only one that stood by me when everyone left. You are all I have left, my comfort, my love." "Maybe that is why I am here," Queen Eden said. "Besides, you cannot let this great kingdom fall under your rule. It may never be restored again if you don't do this. Please, I beg you." Oba Ewakpe realized she was right, and tears came down his eyes. Queen Eden hugged him and said, "Everything is going to be fine, my lord. No time to waste. I have enough money from the jewelry sold. Let me rush to the market to buy everything that is required." Before the Oba could say anything, Queen Eden was gone. She bought items the oracle priest had advised and placed the food items by the palace door, as was customary. Then she grabbed a shovel and handed it to the Oba. "It's time. Let's go." Reluctantly, Oba Ewakpe took the shovel and walked slowly down to the Oba market when no one was around. When they got there, the Oba started digging and digging, with tears falling down his eyes. Queen Eden would go in the hole and see if she could fit in. The Oba continued to dig until the queen tried it again and found it to be just right. She laid in it and spoke. "I am ready, but I have one request to ask of you." "Anything, my love," the Oba said. Then Queen Eden spoke. Her eyes brightened, knowing these would be her last words. "If this works out, make sure my grave is kept clean and sacred, so that my sacrifice may not be disregarded and forgotten. I know this is a public space, but this is my request." Oba Ewakpe too spoke out and swore to Queen Eden, "I will make sure of this. I am sorry that my mistakes have brought this on you. I will secure this place and declare it sacred and make it known to everyone in the villages and beyond, that if anyone steps his or her feet on these grounds, that person will pay the ultimate price. I will make sure that everyone knows the role you played in restoring the kingdom. Queen Eden, mother of restoration. Queen Eden, mother of love. Queen Eden, my love, I will see you someday in the afterlife. You will be my queen once again." Queen Eden nodded in agreement and crossed her arms around her chest. Oba Ewakpe started covering her up slowly. No more words to say, both silent. Oba Ewakpe could not stop the tears coming down his eyes as he covered her. Queen Eden lay still, as if she was no longer there, her eyes looking straight into the heavens. Oba Ewakpe tried to make one more eye contact with her again, but she would not blink. Nonetheless, the Oba said, "Goodbye, my love," before proceeding to cover her completely. The Oba laid over the grave for hours, crying. The Oba went back to the palace late that night, so tired that he slept immediately without having something to eat. He woke up in the morning to the voice of one of his chiefs. The chief had seen the items around the palace and thought that others have broken the agreement to reject the Oba, making him alone look like the enemy of the Oba. He spoke with a loud voice. "Long live the Oba," he said. "Please bear with me and don't be angry with me. I will return shortly with my gifts. I hope the Oba will accept my offerings." The Oba spoke back and said, "I am not angry with you, my chief. I will accept your gifts." The chief quickly went home and got several of his servants to carry food items, the best he had, and put them by the palace door. The Oba came out in time to meet him, well dressed in his full regalia and beads and staff. The chief and his servants knelt as they saw him. The Oba was back in his glory. He said to the chief, "I need more help in the palace. Please let me have 2 of your servants to help the few I have." The chief gladly ordered 4 of his servants to stay in the palace and help the other servants. He left, and other chiefs came in, and fear of being left behind, they too brought their gifts. And the Oba once again asked for 2 servants to help the few in the palace, and this chief gave the Oba 6 servants. Gradually, all the chief came in to donate food and servants, male and female, and the kingdom of Benin was restored. The Oba called for a festival in honor of Queen Eden. He told them what the queen had done to restore the kingdom and ordered her grave sacred, warning anyone who dishonors the grave will pay the ultimate price. Under Oba Ewakpe's rule, the Benin kingdom flourished once again, thanks to the selfless love and sacrifice of Queen Eden, the mother of restoration. Thank you for listening to this incredible story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Let us know what you think about Queen Eden's brave sacrifice in the comments below. See you next time on African Folktale Studios, where there's always a story to tell.